Hi, and welcome to Introduction to Ethics, Summer 2020 Accelerated Online Version. I'm David Myers. I'll be your instructor for the class. And right now, I'd just like to go over a few of our expectations. I'd like to introduce you to D2L. Well, I'm hoping you're already introduced to D2L, but I'd like to introduce you to how my course is set up. First things first, I want to go over the syllabus. And I don't want to read all of the boilerplate. You're, more than capable of that. But I would like to go over quite a bit of it. So we begin with the boilerplate stuff, summer semester, 18 May through 13 July. I'm your instructor. My phone number is listed right there in the syllabus. And you're going to need to write that down because I expect you to call me if you have any questions, if you have any concerns. Call me. Most students won't. And even when they do, the first thing they tell me is, "Oh, I'm so sorry to bother you." You're not bothering me. I have a job thanks to you. If it wasn't for students, you wouldn't need instructors, and therefore my time is your time. Don't look at it like you're bothering me. Look at it like you're able to get in touch with me when you need to. The other thing is, if you want, and if you are having difficulties, I am more than happy to set up a Zoom session and we can discuss those problems face to face, so to speak, or I can help give a lecture on what you're having problems with. And so write that number down. I hope that you'll use it. Prerequisites, none. Um, Although, if you've had college writing, it will really help. But there are no prerequisites. The textbook is the 11th updated edition. Here it is. See, I'm moving. That's why everything is empty on my shelves. We are moving from our home. We put it on the market. I'm moving to a temporary home before we take off from Minnesota for Tennessee. But this is the textbook that you'll be using. Just again, ignore the background. Sorry, everything's a mess. So it's the updated 11th edition. If you have a different edition, a previous edition, you can make that work, but it's much easier to have the right book. And so there are two versions. You can either have the hardback copy or you could have ordered the online copy. Personally, I'm kind of a hard copy guy. I like to have a book in front of me. On the other hand, some students are traveling back and forth and they like to listen to the textbook being read to them, and you could do that with the online version. At any rate, if you have the online version, go to, well, I sent an email this afternoon to all of you and follow that link that's on the email, or just go to the um, title page, and one of the news items is an invitation to the textbook. So that'll be your textbook. We're going to be reading and studying chapters 1 through 9. Um, Academic honesty, no plagiarism, don't cheat. Um, what is cheating? Copying from someone else's work, allowing another learner to copy from your work, um, collaborating on an assessment, which is a graded assignment or test, without my permission, taking a test for someone else. You know what cheating is. This is an ethics class, so let's not do it. Let's see. Attendance, importance of class attendance. This is an online class. Attendance is measured by two different things. The first is an attendance board located in the discussion section of D2L Brightspace. You're expected to sign in once a week. The second way attendance is measured is by ensuring that work is turned in promptly. So failing to sign in weekly and make progress in the course will result in contact by the instructor. If I cannot contact you, I will have to drop you for non participation. So sign in once a week. It's not hard. So many students seem to not be able to grasp the importance, but I expect you to. That being said, um, if you're turning in your assignments, I obviously know that you're checking in, but I expect you to check in, especially during the first week. If you do not sign in during week one, if you do not download the syllabus and schedule, and if you do not watch this video, I will know and I will drop you for non-attendance week one. So do those three things. That's what's expected during this first week. Instruction delivery method, obviously it's an online course. I have discussion boards. I have lectures for each chapter online. I could tell if you've watched them, and I would suggest that you do. Reading, you've got about 4 hours of reading a week. Reading is fairly difficult for this course. The assignments will take you, especially assignments with reading, between 6 and 8 hours per week. Let's see, I don't think we need to go over the next couple of methods to assess competence. There's required reading. There is objective examinations, ethics problems assignments, and the discussion boards. All of those things are graded and will add up to 100 points. And the course is, 100 points, 90 to 100 is an A, and 80 to 90 is a B, and so on. Let's see, no proctor is necessary. I expect you to take the exams without cheating, and so I trust you. And so no proctor is necessary. Let's talk about the actual assignments. First of all, the reading report. Each student will complete a document indicating by percentage the amount of reading that you completed for the course. For instance, I completed 100% of the required reading, or I completed 90, or whatever you completed. One line, that's it. Drop it into the Dropbox. I say Dropbox, I'm not supposed to. It's the assignments folder. Put this, and this is due at the end of the course. Specifically, I think this assignment is, what date did I give to it? Let's see. The 11th of July. On the 11th of July, the reading report is due. Again, it's one line, but it's worth up to 10 points. That's an entire letter grade. So if you don't turn it in, it becomes a 0. And even if you do everything else, you can't possibly get above, a 90. And so turn it in at the end of the course. And please, it's one line. I read 40% of chapter 1 and 50% of chapter 2. I read whatever percentage of the entire reading that you completed. Also, I have to say this. What you write down is what you get. So if you put, I completed 20% of the reading, I'm going to give you 2 points. I have to say this now because in the past, the student actually said that they completed 20% of the reading. And when I gave them 2 points, they went ballistic and they filed a complaint with the dean saying that I discriminated because they were honest and I only gave them 2 points. Then they said in the same grievance that they should have just cheated and lied about what they read, which believe me, the dean was not enthusiastic about, their I should have cheated in an ethics class. And so if you tell me you read 100%, I believe you, and you'll get 10 points. If you tell me you read 85%, you get 8.5 points, and so on. The discussions. The course is separated into three sections. Section 1 is chapter 1, 2, and 3. Chapter 2 is section 4, 5, and 6. And section 3 is 7, 8, and 9. And so the discussion boards, you will be discussing, if you're in section 1, chapters 1, 2, or 3. You will pick two different things that jumped out at you from one of the three chapters in the section. And you'll write a little bit about that issue. Then you will respond to 4 others. So for each section, not chapter, but section, you'll be making 6 posts. Now, it's 1 point for each of the postings that you make, up to 6. If you make 10 points, if you make 10 postings on responses, the most points you can get are 4. Because 4 points for responding to others' text, 2 points for making original texts. So say you make no original texts, you'll get 0 points. And even if you make 25 responses, you'll still only get 4 points. So follow the instructions. At least 2 original posts and at least 4 responses. Now, the rest of the points are going to come, the last 4 points are going to come from reading all of the posts. You are required to read them all. Now, and I should say, the discussion board is separate from the attendance board. You don't have to read everybody's here on the attendance board. But anyway, 6 total points. One more time, Dave. 6 total 6 total posts per section are required. The discussion boards, you can't just write, "Oh, I totally agree with what that person said." It's got to be thought out and meaningful. But I found that if we do these correctly, it will draw you in to the course in a similar fashion to if you were attending each week's lecture. It's not quite the same, but it's the best I can do. So that's worth 30 total points, 10 points per section. Exams. Again, the course is broken up into 3 sections, each divided into 3 chapters of the textbook. So section 1 is based on chapters 1, 2, and 3. Section 2 exam, 4, 5, 6. Section 3 exam, 7, 8, 9. Now, that's a lot of pages to be tested on. So, what I want you to worry about in this course, I don't want you to actually worry about anything, but what I want you to concentrate on is getting something out of the chapters. I don't want you so worried about the exam that you won't be able to pull anything out of the chapters. So, there are practice tests, one for each chapter. Now, these practice tests consist of up to 30 questions. I think there are 20 questions for most of them and 16 for one of them. From the practice tests, I will take the test questions. What you see is what you get. So if you can memorize, you'll do very well, very easily on the tests. How are you going to study? I want you to study by reading the chapters and by taking the practice tests. You can print the practice test out and you can study that way, but you may not use your notes on the exams. I say you can use an open book, but you may not use the practice test printed out. It'd be too easy. I mean, it's what you see is what you get. So your exams, they're going to be open on Sunday evening at midnight, and they will close on Saturday night at midnight. 3 exams. You have written assignments, the ethics problems. You will choose one ethics problem for each section. Each question is fairly complex and will require between 4 and 5 pages, double spaced, to answer completely. Because some students won't have the 11th edition, I have written them out, section 1, section 2, and section 3. And you can print these, you can copy them, you can type right onto them, but you're going to have to answer one set of ethics problems per section. If it's shorter than 4 pages, I'm going to mark it down. When the assignment is complete, place it into the appropriate assignment folder. And then, to make it even easier, the next page of the syllabus says Section 1, choose one of the following. Chapter 1, the ethics problem is found on page 28, and it's why be moral. Chapter 2, the ethics problem is would you throw the switch? On page 44. And chapter 3, ethics problem, would you kill for the sake of duty? On page 59. Remember, this is the 11th edition. You will have to find the pagination in your textbook. But again, I've set the templates up under the materials section. We'll go over D2L and as soon as we're done with this. I grade A, B, C, D, F, and it's basic. It's 90 to 100 is an A, 89 to 80 is a B, and so on. As stated above, the course is divided into 3 sections. There's an examination for each section. 6-day period I talked about. 31 May through 3 June is exam 1. 21 through 27 June is exam 2. 5 through 11 July is exam 3. If you can't take it on the scheduled date or you want to do it early, give me a call, text me, and I will fix it for you. Reading assignment. On the 6th of June, the student will have read chapters 1. Oh, this is wrong. I'll have to correct it. Chapters 1 through 3, and section 1 ethical problem is due. Additionally, the discussions close at this time. On the 27th, you have read 6 through 8, and on the 11th of July, you have read, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7, 8, and 9. I'll fix that in the syllabus, and by the time you are watching this video, it'll read correctly. The reading report is due 11 July. The course shuts down on the 13th of July, so you're going to want to have all this done. All right, that is the syllabus. Now, go to D2L itself. The first thing to do is go to Content. Click on Content, and you will see, well, click on Table of Contents, and it will break your course down. First, some information about me. Let's see what it has to say. I haven't updated this in a long time. David Myers, BS, University of the State of New York, MRS, MA, Southern California Seminary, MDiv, Luther Rice Seminary, DD, Midwest College of Biblical Studies. I'm retired Navy. I've been in Minnesota since 2003. I've been through both the LPN and the RN programs here at the Tech. Hardest degrees I ever earned, harder than a doctorate in theology. In addition, well, I've taught at a number of colleges and universities. I've was a professor of Bible and theology at SCS. I was an adjunct professor of Bible at Christian Heritage College. I've been an instructor of humanities at Vincennes College in Southern Illinois University. Um, I'm a pastor. I've served as senior pastor for 17 years here in Bemidji at Ridgewood Baptist. Um, I've written a couple of books that's mentioned in here, and I've been teaching since 97. I've been teaching philosophy classes since 97. So um, that's who I am. Then you can get the syllabus, and this video will be right there. Let's see, go back. You will also find in the table of in the contents section, let's see, purpose of the slideshows, PowerPoint presentations for all 16 chapters. We're not going to be doing all 16 chapters. We're only doing chapters 1 through 9. I've listed some textbook chapters in case your book doesn't come in right away. You've got the first section here. I can't do more than that legally. Then there are lecture videos that I've made for each chapter. And so they're right here. And then there are the assignments. For instance, if you want to know about instructions for examinations, you click on it and it tells you the dates. Again, I want you to call me if you have questions or concerns, but I want you to go completely over D2L first, because it answers 99.9% of your questions. People will, what day is the assignment due? And it's like, look in the syllabus, look on D2L, it's all there. I go over these things very carefully to try to make sure that they're current and up to date. And so, look at D2L first, then call me. Or if something isn't clear to you, text me or call me, that's cool. But if you call me and ask me about, what are the exam dates for exam 2, I'm going to say, why didn't you check D2L? It's all right there. All right, we'll go back. Materials, content. And I think that's about it. Where are you going to, under the communications section, you'll find discussions. Click on where it says discussions, and there is a section for general discussions. If you have a question or you want to make a comment on something that's interesting to you outside of the chapters, that's where it gets made. Section 1, your thoughts on chapters 1 through 4. Section 2, I've got to fix that again. It should say 1 through 3. Section 2, 4, 5, and 6. Section 3, 7, 8, 9. Attendance board, it will say week 1, week of 18 to 23 May 2020. Week 2, that's where you'll say here, present. And I think that pretty much sums up the entire course. I look forward to working with you this semester. And wow, it starts tomorrow. So let's have fun, but let's also learn something that we can apply to our lives. Have a great semester.